Welcome to Winners on a Wednesday, where every single week I don't just interview one of my students, we bring to you a real-life documentary where we go around their properties, find out the good, the bad, the ugly, how they've made their money, but also the mistakes and the lessons that they've learned along the way as well. And this week's episode, we've got Damien Cheeseman. The guy is a millionaire property investor. I've been working with him now for a couple of years, and he's built an absolute massive portfolio of properties. Some he rents as rent to rent, some he has as lease options, but he also owns many properties as well. And in this documentary, you're going to be watching his real life properties, learning from him, and seeing how you can do the same thing too. I think you're going to enjoy this one, so stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Damien Cheeseman, and I'm a Samuel Leeds Academy student. I manage £38 million of the serviced accommodation, and today I'm going to show you around one of the properties that we manage. I started working as a builder about 13 years ago with a building company. I wanted to get in property a couple of years ago. I wanted to sort of spend my disposable income better and make sure that I invested for my sort of long-term future. Heard of Samuel, went to one of his £1 crash courses. That leads on to doing further education, and yeah, never looked back. This is the first bedroom. There's basically four bedrooms, all with en suites that are attached to the house as part of the annex. And that comes with the bookings as well. They've all been decorated differently. They've been designed by the Duchess of Rutland herself, and she's done a fantastic job. It's the second room. Every single room is different. So some of the properties that we manage, obviously we have to help with design and get involved with more with the maintenance and whatnot, but they have their own maintenance team. So it's basically, we manage basically the guest management and the sales and marketing. I went to the first course, and sort of immediately after leaving, I wanted to go out and do a deal, make sure I made it worthwhile doing. I did a BRR over in Derbyshire, which was quite successful. I've made a few mistakes, but obviously Samuel's education teaches you how to get around things and how to make every investment profitable. I just 10x'd it, I just went for it. And yeah, basically in the last 12 months, I've done 11 lease options, I've done 6 BRRs, I've done 4 rent-to-rents, and now manage a serviced accommodation portfolio of £38 million. So it's been really, really successsul.
What's your favourite strategy so far then? Because you've done lease option, you've done rent-to-rent, you've done serviced accommodation, you've done HMO, you've done social housing, you've basically done everything.
I think the BRRs, it's what I know. And a few Academy members will message me regularly asking questions. And I love answering them, I love helping people out as well. So the BRR strategy, but I think sort of BRR to SA or BRR to HMO is definitely the way forward. I did 2 BRRs for a standard sort of buy-to-let sort of exit, and whilst it's good, it never really earns you the cash flow that you want at the end. So yeah, I'm sort of, for me, I'm looking for things that are going to give me good cash flow afterwards.
When we found this property, when we took over it in November, the bookings were quite light really. So what we did is we sort of changed the price point for the property because some nights were higher than others. So we made it so that it's quite uniform, it's quite simple. The weekends with high demand, we charge more money, and the weekends that are low demand and the weekdays, we drop the prices. Again, a very different room to the previous 2, designed by the Duchess of Rutland. Again, an ensuite attached to it as well. So, yeah. Before property, I had my own construction company. I set my own construction company up 13 years ago. It's very successful in the East Midlands. We don't do massive construction projects. We mainly do like your windows, doors, that type of thing. But it's all systemised now. It's all developed to a stage. We've got managers in place to manage it without me. So it was a case I had so much time. I had a bit of disposable income. I just wanted to find a better place for my money to go, something of a new interest as well. And I went to the crash course and just fell in love with property. I just really wanted to get out there and get involved.
How busy are you on your construction business now? Have you systemised that at all?
Yeah, so it's quite systemised, but I also enjoy it to a degree. I've got my family work for the business, my friends work for the business partner of that's a really good friend of mine as well. So I sort of enjoy still being part of it to a degree.
But I just sort of was holding back because I feel like I had to be adding value myself. I wanted to add value to the building company. I didn't want to be, no day-to-day job, but not actually doing anything with my time. So going into property and realising actually you can put your time elsewhere now and that your building company could systemise, that's when I started the sort of 6 to 12 month process of actually systemising the building company whilst building the property side. And then now, I don't work for the building company as such. We use this room here for almost like a bar lounge area. After dinner, the guests, welcome to sit in here. We serve drinks if they want to have their own person in to serve them drinks and whatnot. We can offer that as an additional as well. What house has got this? It's unique, it's something different. And that's why we're so busy, it's so popular, because essentially we're offering something that not many people can offer.
So what would you say to people that are in construction? Because I meet a lot of people that are in the building trade industry. They've got construction businesses. They're making decent amount of money because there's decent money in it, but they really fancy themselves actually buying the houses themselves, because it's quite infuriating, I think, when you're constantly working on other people's projects and you're seeing how much money they're making. What would you say to people trying to transition over to the other side?
The first thing I learned was you need to look at a property as though you're paying a builder to do it. Even if you're going to renovate it yourself, you've got to look at the figures as though you are employing somebody else to do it, because you can very easily fall into, which I know a friend of mine fell into a trap of saying, well, I can do this, I can do that. Purchased a property and all they did was tie all their time up and made little profit.
Yeah.
Because the deal wasn't good enough for another investor who was going to pay somebody else because it didn't stack.
Yeah.
So I think the first thing I'd say is just make sure that the deal's right.
So we have a wine storage and a whiskey room. Can be booked as extras, but often they're used for when the family come here with parties and functions and whatnot. That's probably net income from our businesses of about 5 days of working now. You come into it in a position where you're like, £12,000 is an incredible amount of money. And to some people it is, of course, and it was once to me. And I've come into it and I've thought, I've got to find this £12,000. But you find the £12,000, do everything that you taught, and at the end of it, £12,000 is just a holiday. Whereas before, it was a life-changing sum of money. The journey that you go through within the training, as long as you stick to what Samuel teaches, is phenomenal. You won't look at what property can I invest in, it will be, how can I build my portfolio? How can I change lives, and essentially like Samuel does. I work with a children's charity that help disadvantaged families and disabled children, one of the trustees. And I give back now. I give probably similar to what I paid on a training course. I give that back a year as well, because it's important that you've got an end goal, haven't you, to make things better.
I probably give about 5 hours a week to a charity that I'm a trustee for as well.
That's good. Tell me about the charity work that you do.
A charity called Community Wishes. They help sort of disadvantaged families and disadvantaged and poorly children. I really enjoy. It's not a massive amount of time. Obviously, don't get paid. I wouldn't want anything, But it's fun getting involved with the fundraising, getting involved in the publicity for the charity and stuff, and just helping out.
We try to offer, as many USPs for the property as we can. Beautiful snooker table for people to enjoy. I mean, the price of the property usually is around about $18.50 a night. So we take 2 night bookings minimum. So it's reasonably priced for the amount of people that can stay here. It's almost like having a sort of compact holiday park in one, isn't it? It's you've got all these different things that you can spend your time doing. Things like murder mystery nights, hot tubs as extras, casino nights, archery outside. One of the things we do offer as well is we offer catering. I've got 3 children and my eldest is 15, he's 16 in November, and he's told all his friends already he's doing the Samuel Leeds Academy, so I guess he's going to be coming to the bank of dad for that, I guess him, but it's the right place for him to be in. You see so many people go to university and come out with degrees, and I was talking to someone today about that actually. Someone did a sports science university degree and is now working at a bank. It's like, well, if you go into property and you follow what Samuel does, you stay in property because it's just so lucrative. We're based on the outskirts of Sheffield. That's the sort of view, that we have. We're fortunate to have. Waking up to a view like this, it's just incredible. We actually advertise this property on Airbnb, Booking.com, the usual sort of places. But we also get a lot of direct bookings that come through to our Instagram, which is at Damien Cheeseman Properties. And it also comes through to the Beaver Estates website where we take direct bookings from this. So yeah, it's really popular. Most weekends it's full, pretty much every weekend, and most weekdays as well. It's got interest every week. About 16 months into my journey with Samuel, I became a mentor for Samuel, because 4 months before that I'd won the award with Samuel. I'd won the Associate Member of the Year, I was really, really pleased to win that. And then 4 months later, I became a mentor, helping Samuel, help him train people, basically. Samuel selects his mentors very carefully. I was flattered when he asked, and it's a great experience. I did it for 5 months.
This guy's so successful, I want him to come be a mentor within the academy. I'm like, Damien, because I've been working with you now for 18 months, 2 years. You've built up a whole portfolio. I'm like, bro.
Samuel's teaching a 4-day course at the minute about BRRs and lease options. Yeah, he's got several hundred students in there. Sort of what our role is to get involved with the students, to offer advice and mentorship, support them in what they're doing and progressing their journey, essentially.
I'm trying to go down the route of raising finance and pulling in JV investors or potential ones. Would you recommend me acting like a sourcer to go out and get as many properties in the pipeline as possible, and then trying to sell them on, but also saying to them, like, would you be interested in working with me on this particular project?
I think the best way to approach it is to understand two things. The first thing to understand is what your end goal is. If your end goal is to own multiple properties on your own, the JV doesn't really work. Obviously the fees that you would generate from maybe project management, the finder's fee, that would then go to you buying a property yourself. I love helping, I love giving back. I've been there at the start of my journey when I needed the support and help, and there were so many people around there to support me and to help me progress in what I'm doing. As I've learned it and I've got more advanced in what I'm doing, it's now great that I can pass on some of the basics and some of the more sort of low-level advanced stuff to other people to help them develop in theirs.
The questions that I had for Damien answered brilliantly and using his experience, so I can't fault it at all. I now have clarity on what I was sort of thinking, so it has allowed me to now be able to go out and think of what Damien said and turn it around so it suits me personally, and I can use that in my daily networking. I knew Damien before he was a mentor. So it's sort of like I was close to him before and knew bits, and then watching him progress as well is in his property in sort of like the Samuel Leeds world, and now him becoming a mentor. It has very inspiring.
This is the pool. To be honest with you, the type of clients we get here will either come here for like a corporate retreat maybe, or come to celebrate 50th birthday. We've got full use of the pool from April through to October. It's heated. There's also a sauna in the back room. We've also got a tennis court at the top. This property is actually set in 6,000 acres of moorland. So generally speaking, how we work as a management company is we would charge a percentage of turnover to the client. So we take a small percentage of their revenue, and essentially they get all the rest of it. This property will probably generate somewhere around £220,000 of revenue this year. Across the whole portfolio of all our properties, including all the hotels and everything, we'll be looking at somewhere around £3 to £4 million. I think no matter which way you go, you need someone who's been educated. You could spend a whole year doing a flip, the old traditional way, and you get to the end and find out you made no money or very little. You could do exactly the same, keep the property, rent it out on a single let, and make next to no money, a couple of £100 a month. It's pointless. So the education alone is where the value is. Knowing what you can do with these properties, knowing that you can use service accommodation, HMOs, the various different high cash flowing exits.
If you'd like to get into property as well, just like Damien, then why don't you come and spend a day with me at the Property Investors Crash Course? Tickets are just £10. You'll be spending the full day with me, and also when you arrive, I'll give you a physical copy of my best-selling property book. What are you waiting for? Spaces are limited. Link in bio. Get booked and get booked now. I'll see you there.